Welcome back. Our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, has covered wars and upheavals, and he was there with us in Tahrir Square last year when we witnessed an Egyptian revolution right there before our eyes. He's gone back several times since. His report tonight is about what has happened since. With the partial collapse of law and order in Egypt, some important things have disappeared. Some of the treasures of history have been flat out looted, and they date back to the time of King Tut. Tonight, Richard Engel reports on the amount of history that has fallen into the hands of modern-day tomb raiders.
In all the world, there's nothing quite like the treasures found along Egypt's Nile River. Evidence from thousands of years of civilization that was buried and forgotten, just like the pharaohs. But now, those cultural riches are under attack. Looters are taking advantage of Egypt's political turmoil by tunneling and digging for antiquities right next to the pyramids.
There is clearly a great deal of illegal excavation going on here. The signs are everywhere. There are hundreds of holes here. Some of these holes are quite extensive. Here the looters found what appears to be a cave. They broke through this top layer of rock and then carved out 1, 2, 3, 4 passageways and then chipped away straight down. They were obviously here for a long time. They left behind trash, signs of a fire. If they found anything, no one will know.
People in one day are destroying everything. They are destroying history.
Dr. Zahi Hawass was once the face of Egyptian archaeology. When thieves broke into the Egyptian museum during the revolution, he tried to defend the country's treasures.
They tried to break to look for gold.
But later, he resigned from the antiquities department under pressure, considered too close to the old regime.
Can anyone have any idea how many sites have been looted or encroached upon?
It's hundreds.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of sites that has been attacked.
In fact, we found out there have been 5,700 cases of illegal digging since the revolution and 130 attempts to smuggle antiquities out of the country. In Israel, inspectors just seized 2 magnificent sarcophagus covers from the time of the pharaohs. And in April, a New York-based art dealer pleaded guilty to smuggling Egyptian antiquities worth $2.5 million into the United States. And it's still happening.
The damage was so severe to the site and so ongoing that I couldn't live with myself if I didn't try and do something. I just felt that if I didn't come forward, there wasn't going to be anything left.
Carol Redmont is an archaeologist from the University of California, Berkeley, who's been coming to Egypt for more than 30 years. She works 180 miles south of Cairo. Her site, an ancient town called Al-Hiba, was completely destroyed by looters in the year and a half since the revolution.
I was shocked. It was actually almost a physical shock when I finally got onto the site to see for myself. They've dug literally hundreds of holes in every single part of the site.
We're coming up to the site right now. You can see that area of freshly dug earth. That is a place where the looters are digging right now. There are no guards here. There's no fence around it. It is an opportunity that is just inviting looters to come and see what they can find.
That one is a female mummy, and this is something that was just dug up, and it's just tossed aside like garbage.
That is an outrage that people are pulling mummies out of the ground and throwing them in the desert.
Yeah, complete disregard for human life, for human sanctity.
The other photograph that left an impression, these looters found a tomb.
Yeah.
They found a sealed tomb.
Right, a beautiful tomb.
And they broke into it.
My jaw dropped when I saw that one because it's beautiful.
I'm sure you were sick to your stomach.
Yep, and just whatever was in there is just gone. It's decorated on the outside.
Carol has managed to salvage just a few fragments of the tomb's treasures, like this image of a god.
This is a piece.
Anubis.
You got it. That's Anubis, part of a painted coffin. Probably gone by the looters, but we did at least find this.
What was Anubis the god of?
He's the god of the West, the god of the cemetery.
God of protection?
God of protection, yes, he protects the necropolis.
He wasn't doing his job.
No, he wasn't.
The gods can't do the work of the Egyptian police. During the revolution, the police were discredited seen as the henchmen of the Mubarak regime. It was left to ordinary Egyptians to save the Cairo Museum. A year later, the police are still hated and in hiding, and criminals are emboldened. They're the ones who took over Carroll's site.
This criminal, this thug, had organized a gang that was basically just looting the site on an almost daily basis. My understanding is he's actually a convicted murderer, a very dangerous man.
Why don't Egyptian police just go and chase them away?
It's really up to the Egyptian government to figure out how to deal with this problem.
Looting in times of political turmoil is of course nothing new. It was a scourge of the ancient pharaohs. So tomb builders made false doors and pits and booby traps to try and catch the thieves. But then, as now, it seldom worked. But it's not the looting that Dr. Hawass feels is the most damaging. It's illegal building on top of once protected archaeological ruins, like here in Saqqara.
We are near the Step Pyramid, the oldest pyramid in Egypt. If you look at this limestone, this was a part of the causeway of a pyramid dated to Dynasty 5, about 4,200 years ago.
So that structure behind us was the pyramid, then there was a temple there. We're walking along the causeway, which is still under the sand, and then Valley Temple right under that mosque.
The mosque was built illegally just after the revolution by people trying to stake their claim to the land, according to Hawass.
This is the worst thing that can ever happen to antiquities.
To build something right on top
to build a huge building like this.
in concrete.
On concrete above a temple that dated back 4,200 years ago. This is insane. This man, he thought that he will go to paradise because he built a mosque. I'm telling you, this man should go to hell.
But that's not the story I heard from those putting the final touches on the new mosque. They claimed the villagers got together to clean up a garbage dump that had long polluted the site.
So people are happy with what you've done. يعني في استقبال حلو على الموضوع هذا.
Yes, he told me, people are celebrating that a garbage dump will become a mosque where we will pray to God.
The revolution was very good to us because this is the first time since 5,000 years ago that you are going to the step of democracy. But you have to understand what's mean democracy. Democracy is not to attack antiquity sites or to go and dig in your house at night.
How do you dig for antiquities inside your house? Maybe only in Egypt.
It's possible because so many homes in Egypt are built right next to archaeological sites, like this house near the pyramids. It collapsed when looters dug straight through the floor. 6 looters were inside.
Then all the sand came down and they died.
So you're a neighbor. This was your house.
Yes.
Why are people looking for statues and things like that in their
because you
houses?
want the money. His poor people, you want the rich people, you know?
They want to be rich.
Yes.
Money.
Yeah, want the money, yes.
Are many people in this village doing the same thing?
Yes.
Digging?
Yes. Many people.
And just look at this network of tunnels this looter is excavating under his house near another Egyptian monument.
I'm exploring this ancient Egyptian site because we know they buried their treasures in the belly of the earth. It doesn't belong to anyone, just those who find it.
He showed us what he claims is a pharaonic column and burial pit where he hopes ancient thieves had stashed even more ancient loot stolen from royal tombs.
I think it's best to hide this from everyone so that its secret dies with me.
And while he's digging, it's not cave-ins that scare him. It's the jinn, the genies he believes protect the king's treasure.
If there are any evil spirits or genies around, I read holy verses from the Quran, which they cannot stand. That's how I protect myself and my soul.
In their wildest dreams, this is what looters are hoping to find. This is the tomb of Ramses VI. It's decorated with images of gods and goddesses and sacred texts to help the pharaoh on his journey to the afterlife. But like nearly all Egyptian tombs, it was robbed in antiquity. Looters not only managed to break in, but also crack open the massive stone sarcophagus, stealing the treasure inside. But ironically, it was the digging of this tomb that helped save one of Egypt's greatest treasures, because as the tomb builders excavated the tomb of Ramses VI, they dumped all the debris on top of King Tut's tomb, so looters never found it. It's a stroke of luck that's unlikely to be repeated in the current turmoil.
The Arab Spring movement,
Yes.
has it been disastrous for the
I
world's
think-
ancient heritage?
In this case, I think, you know, the antiquities are collateral damage. I love Egypt, I love Egyptians. I've been coming here for 34 years. I love the antiquities, I love the history. And it's watching Egypt's heritage just sort of going by shovelful by shovelful. It's heartbreaking.
Richard Engel reporting tonight from Egypt. You can see more of Richard's reporting, including his tour of the secret chambers of the Great Pyramid at Giza. It's part of his series called Hidden Planet. We've posted it on our website, also on our iPad app.